An old black and white scene in Los Angeles. A group of black teenagers drives up to a house at night. Inside, a young man named Derek is with his girlfriend Stacy. Derek's younger brother Danny sees the teens trying to steal Derek's car. Danny rushes to tell Derek. Derek stays calm. He grabs a gun from his drawer, tells his girlfriend and brother to stay inside, and walks out in just his shorts. One of the teens is at the front door. Derek shoots him right there. The others try to escape, but Derek fires again, killing them too. Danny comes outside and sees Derek looking proud, as if he enjoyed what he did. He also sees a Nazi swastika tattoo on Derek's chest, showing that Derek is part of a neo-Nazi gang. This gang believes only white people should live in America and that there's no room for black people. The story moves to the present. Derek is in prison for the murders. Danny is now in school. His teacher reports him to the principal because Danny called Adolf Hitler a hero in a class project. This upsets the whole school. The teacher says Danny is becoming just like Derek. But the principal, Bob Sweeney, doesn't agree. He says Danny still has a chance to change. He doesn't want Danny to waste his life. Bob tells the teacher to leave and talks to Danny alone. Bob says he won't suspend Danny. Instead, he gives him a new assignment called American History X. Bob used to teach Derek too. Now, he'll be Danny's teacher. He wants Danny to stop focusing on hate and start writing about what's happening now, especially about Derek. This assignment will decide his final grade and college chances. Later at school, 3 black students harass a white boy in the boys' bathroom. Danny is there smoking. He faces the group without fear, blows smoke in one boy's face, and they back off. Everyone knows Danny is close with Derek's old white gang. After they leave, Danny tells the boy to stand up for himself. In another scene, Principal Bob goes to the local police station. The police and FBI called him to talk. Derek is about to be released from prison after 3.5 years. The authorities are worried that his return might spark more racial violence, since many white gangs still see him as a hero for killing those teens. But Bob says Derek is no longer the same. Prison changed him. The officers show Bob an old video of Derek from 10 years ago. It was recorded the day Derek's father was killed on duty by a black drug dealer. In the video, young Derek blames black, Asian, and Mexican people for crimes and says they'll take over jobs from white Americans. Bob tells the officers that the real threat isn't Derek anymore. It's a man named Cameron. He took advantage of Derek's pain and anger and turned him into a weapon. Cameron used racist propaganda to twist Derek's thinking. He then pushed Derek to lead white gangs and recruit lost young white men. But now, Derek is different. A year ago, Bob met him again in prison while working there as a counselor. Later in the day, Danny walks home from school. On the way, he passes a basketball court. He sees that things have changed. Now, many black boys are playing there. He remembers how it was 3 years ago when Derek used to come to that same court. The story flashes back again in black and white. Back then, a chubby white kid named Seth was playing basketball, while Derek and Cameron stood nearby, watching. Seth's team lost and some black boys started making fun of him. Derek then took off his shirt and stepped onto the court. He challenged the black players to a game, only white boys versus black boys. Derek set a condition. If his team won, the court would belong to the white kids, and no black kid could play there again. The game began. One black player hit Derek during the match, but Derek stayed focused. He played hard, made great shots, and led his team to victory. The black boys, humiliated, had to leave the court. The story returns to the present. Derek is now out of prison after 3.5 years. Danny, along with their mother and sister Davina, comes to pick him up. Derek feels happy to be back, but soon notices a tattoo on Danny's arm. The same gang symbol he once had. Derek doesn't like it. Danny says Cameron officially brought him into the gang. At home, Derek goes to Danny's room to take a call from Principal Bob. He notices the room is covered with posters and symbols of Hitler and white supremacy. Derek sees that Danny now follows the same hateful beliefs he once did. While Derek is on the call, Seth walks into the house with a video camera. He films Derek and then turns to Danny, asking what he thinks of black people. Danny says hateful things about all non-white groups, repeating what Cameron's gang teaches. Davina feels upset after hearing those words. She believes in unity and democracy. Derek is also disappointed. He steps out of the room and Seth greets him with a hug. Derek tells him that Principal Bob already informed him about Danny's project at school. Bob gave Danny a second chance and a new assignment called American History X. If Danny wants to pass, he must complete it. Seth can't believe what he's hearing. Derek, who was once seen as a white gang hero, is now telling his brother to listen to a black teacher. Seth starts insulting Principal Bob, but Derek throws him out of the house. After Seth leaves, Derek tells Danny to take school seriously and listen to Bob. Derek then talks to their sick mother and says he has a job interview the next day. From now on, he will handle things at home so Danny and Davina can focus on their studies. Danny says that Cameron is hosting a party that night to celebrate Derek's release, but Derek tells him not to go. He wants Danny to stay home and finish the assignment. Feeling annoyed, Danny goes back to his room. After smoking, he finally starts working on the project. As he writes, he starts thinking about Derek's past. He remembers how Derek used to give hate speeches under Cameron's guidance. He would speak to unemployed and angry white boys and girls, filling their heads with racist ideas. Since Derek was well-educated and confident, the young crowd believed him. Danny recalls one speech that led to 15-20 kids joining the gang. After that, they attacked a Korean man's store, damaged everything, and assaulted a black woman working there by pouring milk all over her. The non-white people in the area lived in fear after that. Danny also remembers a time, just days after that attack, when their history teacher visited their house for lunch. During the meal, the teacher brought up Rodney King, a black man who had been beaten by several white police officers. The video was all over the news, but Derek didn't see any problem with it. Derek said Rodney King wasn't innocent. He was drunk, high, and driving over 100 miles per hour. The police chased him for hours. Derek claimed Rodney could have killed someone, so the police were right to act as they did. He said the law should apply equally to everyone. He also claimed that most black people had criminal records, much more than white people. The teacher explained that many black people grow up in very poor conditions, which pushes them toward crime. But Derek ignored that, saying it was just an excuse. He believed they were just a burden on the country. The conversation quickly turned into a heated argument. Derek's mother tried to calm the situation, while his sister Davina sat there, clearly upset by everything he said. Derek's girlfriend Stacy supported him during the dinner argument and started yelling at Davina. Tired of the chaos, Davina tried to leave, but Derek grabbed her by the hair and forced her back into her seat. Their mother tried to stop him, but he pushed her away too. Then he threatened the teacher and told him to leave the house. The teacher left quietly, and their mother apologized for Derek's behavior. Danny wrote all these moments in his notebook for the school project. As he worked, he started thinking deeply. He realized that if he hadn't told Derek about the black teens that night, they might still be alive, and Derek wouldn't have gone to prison. Danny always knew Derek hated black people. He clearly remembered that night how Derek shot at the teens. One of them got injured and fell in front of their house. Derek then forced the boy's mouth onto the curb and stomped on his head, killing him in a brutal way. The violence was so horrifying that even Danny felt dizzy watching it. When the police came, Derek wasn't scared at all. He looked proud. Danny didn't tell the police about the curb stomp. If he had, Derek would have gotten life in prison. But Danny lied and said it was self-defense, because he still saw Derek as a hero. While he continued working on the project, Danny's white skinhead friends showed up. Ignoring Derek's warning, he went with them to Cameron's party. At the party, everyone treated Derek like a legend, and he also met Stacy again after years. She was happy to see him, but when Derek asked her to stay away from Cameron and the gang, she felt uncomfortable and started pulling away. Derek then went into Cameron's office. Cameron was busy influencing more kids, including Danny. Derek told Danny to leave and go home. Cameron was excited to see Derek at first, but he was stunned when Derek said he was leaving the gang and rejecting white supremacy. He also told Cameron to stay away from Danny. Cameron didn't know how to respond. Derek said Cameron had never checked on him during his prison time. He called Cameron a coward who used kids to fight his battles. Derek asked why Cameron, if he believed so strongly in white power, had never actually fought anyone himself. Cameron lost control and started yelling, insulting Derek's whole family. Derek punched him hard and walked out. Seth saw Derek coming out of Cameron's office and found out what happened. Angry, he pointed a gun at Derek in front of the crowd. But Derek grabbed the gun, fired into the air to scare everyone, and left with Danny. Danny was confused and yelling. Derek told him to calm down and took him to an empty park. There, he explained that Cameron's beliefs and the white supremacy ideology were all lies. Danny asked what really happened in prison that changed everything. Derek started talking about his time in Chino prison. Most inmates in his block were black. At first, he was scared. With his history, the black inmates could have attacked him any time. When he removed his shirt to exercise, they saw his Nazi tattoo and looked at him with pure hate. The white gang in prison, called the Aryan Brotherhood, noticed Derek too. They liked his confidence and invited him to sit with them in the dining hall. He quickly became close to the group. Derek worked in the laundry room, where his coworker was a black man named Lamont. Derek refused to talk to him. Lamont figured out right away that Derek hated black people. One day, Derek saw that the white gang leader was selling drugs to the Mexican gang. He didn't like that. But his cellmate explained that in prison, deals like that were needed to survive and stay on the guard's good side. Derek didn't understand that kind of logic. In his mind, everything was black or white. There was no in-between. He insulted the gang for working with other races, and they got angry with him. Lamont noticed Derek's frustration and started joking with him to make him laugh. Slowly, Derek started seeing him differently, and eventually began trusting him. Derek started pulling away from the white gang. One day, instead of sitting with them, he played basketball with the black inmates. His former gang didn't like it. They attacked him in the shower and beat him so badly he was hospitalized. While recovering, Principal Bob visited him as a counselor. Derek broke down in front of him. Bob said that holding on to hate would destroy him. Derek asked for help, and Bob got him a good lawyer. When Derek returned from the hospital, he stopped talking to the white gang. Lamont warned him that without support from either side, he could be killed. Derek said he didn't care anymore. He was tired of all the hate. From that point on, Derek lived in constant fear. Every morning, he didn't know if he'd survive the day. He assumed black inmates would come after him, but they never did. He spent more time reading books. In the last 6 months of his sentence, he kept to himself. Even on his release day, he couldn't believe he was getting out alive. Before he left, Lamont wished him well. Derek finally understood that Lamont had convinced the others not to hurt him. Derek was deeply thankful for that. Back in the present, Derek told Danny that people like Bob and Lamont, both black, had done more for him than any white person ever had. Lamont had died twice before. Derek had done more for him than any white person ever had. He admitted that he used his anger as fuel for hate, and that hate had made him kill 2 people. But deep inside, he realized he didn't actually hate black people. He hated himself. Danny finally understood why Derek had changed. Both brothers went home and hugged their family. Together, they removed all the Nazi posters and symbols from Danny's room. Danny finished his school project. While writing, he realized Derek didn't become racist just after their father's death. It had started earlier. Their father often said racist things and didn't believe in giving jobs to black people. Derek had picked up that hate and passed it down to Danny. But Danny made a decision. The cycle of hate would stop with him. The next day, Derek got ready for his job interview. Danny finished his school project. Derek dropped him off at school. They already knew there had been some trouble between Cameron's group and a few black people the night before. After being dropped off, Danny went to the restroom before class. Inside, the same black boy Danny had disrespected earlier was waiting. The boy pulled out a gun and shot him. Danny's project fell from his hands as he collapsed and died on the restroom floor. News of the shooting spread fast. Derek rushed to the school in shock. He pushed through the crowd and found Danny's body. He broke down, crying as he held his brother close. The same hate Derek once believed in, the hate he had fed, had now taken his own brother. The pages of Danny's final project, meant to bring change, were now soaked in blood.